Hi, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name is Sam, and this has been my first year as a reader. Even though my first booktube video was uploaded on October 2nd, I actually attempted to do a book shopping video last February, and let's just say it didn't turn out that good.
To be honest, it was so hard to film in there because there were so many people, and I feel like I didn't get a lot of good shots, so now I'm paranoid that this video sucks.
Maybe it wasn't so bad, but I just wasn't proud of it and I gave up for a little while. But I still read some books. I then got inspired again to create my own booktube channel when I started watching some amazing creators. So then 7 months later, I tried again, and I officially made my channel and uploaded my first, well, technically second, but we're not going to talk about the first one. So then about a month later, after I uploaded my book shopping video, I then made a video called Becoming a Reader / Booktuber. And I got so lucky on that video because I almost have 7,000 views on it at the moment, and I was so happy to inspire so many other people to start their own booktube channels and start their own book journeys too. And thanks to that video, it really brought the majority of my subscribers. So if you're one of those, thank you so much for the support, and I really do appreciate it. Anyway, this year, I've read 25 books, which is crazy for me. And I've honestly had such a good time reading all these amazing books and being in all these different worlds. It's so awesome to read. And my goal this year is to read 50 books. Let's hope I can do that. But before I get into more reading goals I have for this year, let's get my bookshelf ready for 2024 because it's not ready. Oh, this isn't all my books. 1 minute. And these. So, I have a lot of work to do. If you watched my Becoming a Booktuber video, I had one bookshelf over on the other side of my room, but I was actually able to get this bookshelf too. I'm going to be moving in the next couple months, so I'm going to have another bookshelf organization video at some point too, but I figured I might as well try to make something cute just for the next couple of months that I'm living at home. So I have all of these. Everything is not in a good order, as you could tell. I have some books up here that I just bought recently, and I kind of threw some stuff up here just to get it out of the way, I guess, and I'm gonna fix it up, but I wanted to wait until I was able to record to fix it up so we could fix it up together. A lot of these I have not read, and I'm gonna count how many books are on my physical TBR and let you guys know that too, because this year my goal is to try to get my physical TBR at least half of it read, because I just keep buying books and I can't stop. Also, look at this. Look at it. Look at this. How freaking cute are these? Cutie cuffs. You can get them at Target. And they were on my steering wheel for my car. That's what everybody kind of did with them on TikTok, I saw. Look how cute they are on the book cart. Cutie cuffs, Target, get them, put them on your book cart. It's a trend started by me. Okay. Anyway, let me go ahead and get these books organized. I do have more romance books than fantasy and other genres, so I think I'm going to keep the romance up top. I just need to figure out what order I want to go in. I guess I'm just going to go ahead and try to do maybe colors? I don't know. And I keep thinking, do I want to like display books? Like have them out. Like have them out. Ooh, I've gotta put. Oh, these are such pretty colors. Let me think, because I want to put these out, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Oh, I want to read this so bad. I love the selection. I loved it. So I'm hoping that this is like just as good. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, no displays yet. Okay, hold on. I feel like this looks stupid. Oh, wait. Wait, I have an idea. Okay, hold on. So it'll look like this once it's all said and done. You'll be shocked to know that I've read none of these. Absolutely none. I think I might just do Coho, but I don't know. Do we like Coho? This is the Matched series by Ali Condi. I've read the first one, but I haven't read the other two. So this is kind of like dystopian vibes. So I think I'll also put maybe The Betrothed, and then maybe this other book right here. I think right here I'm gonna put my fantasy, like my popular fantasies that I'm really excited to read. Then I think I'm gonna put Once Upon a Broken Heart up here. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Curse for True Love, The Ballad of Never After, and then Once Upon a Broken Heart. I've got Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I've read both of these. So I'll put them right over here. So I have these two books. I'm just gonna put them over here next to the Throne of Glass series, which I think I'm gonna have to eventually put Throne of Glass up here because that's a long series. But I'm gonna put Throne of Glass like this. I gotta remember that that is my goal, to read Throne of Glass, so I'm gonna have it out like that. But I'm gonna put something behind it so it doesn't fall. And now I have all my like little decor for my bookshelf, so I'll put my Kiki's delivery service right there. Wow, my cart was so full and now it's so empty. So I'm gonna put my TBR at the top. I'll put my Rock by 1,000 Heartbeats. And I have one more thing I want to decorate my bookshelf with. A sleeping kitty. It's so cute. I don't know where to put it. My brother got this for me for Christmas, but it's so cute. I think I'm gonna put it up there. It's so cute. Let's get into all the books I've read this year, which wasn't really that many. I started prioritizing reading more like in around October-ish was where I read the majority of the books actually. These books are the books that got me into reading. They're hit or miss for some people, and I don't know, I love them, and that is the Selection series by Kira Cass. The Selection series takes place in a dystopian world where everyone is separated into certain castes, where you're poor or rich or in the middle class, whatever, and basically there's this big competition and the prince is ready to choose his future queen. Yeah, so 35 girls are entered to win Prince Maxon's heart, and a lot of people compare this to like The Bachelor / Hunger Games, and they're hit or miss for some people. Some people don't like the concept. I don't know, I love it. I love this series so much. I don't know what it is. I think it's just because it's so nostalgic for me, because I was in high school when this series came out. Yes, I'm old. I started the Selection like in high school. I read the rest of them, but I just started all over this year and I love them just as much. So I love this series. So these books I also read this year, and that is the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. I think everyone has read these books, especially because of the show coming out, and that's why I picked them back up to read them. Like, I started it back in high school, and then I didn't even finish it. Like, I barely finished books back then. It was very rare that I finished a book back in high school. But I went back and I read them all, and I love them. I love the first one. The second one is okay. The third one's good. I love this series, and I love the vibe of it, and I love the show that came out. Anyway, I read this series this year, and I absolutely loved it. The next book I read, I'm just gonna do these in like 3 because they're all Christmas books. I read In a Holidays by Christina Lauren, One Day in December by Josie Silver, and Along Came Holly by Cody Hall. Anyway, I read all these back in December for my Christmas reading video, and I don't want to go through these super in depth, but okay, I like this one. I loved it. It's basically The Summer I Turned Pretty, but like Christmas. This one was okay. It was just a little spicy, and it was like kind of like, I don't know, how do I say it? the characters felt kind of immature, and then I didn't like this one. So that's that. And then the next book I read this year, I did this kind of a while back. I think I read this book before I actually published any sort of video on my booktube channel, and that is Matched by Ali Condi. I don't see a lot of people talk about this book, but this book also takes place in a dystopian world, and basically it's right as the title says, you're matched. Like right when you turn a certain age, you are matched, and you are basically, everything in your life is chosen for you. Like you can't even wear normal clothes. Everyone wears like white. I think it's Cassia or something, but anyway, she is of age to go be matched and find out who her husband's gonna be and stuff like that. And basically she learns that things aren't really as they seem. This is actually a trilogy. I haven't read the second book yet, but I own the next 2 books. And I'm excited to get to this eventually. I like dystopian worlds. I think it's really interesting. I think I rated this book a 3-star. It was pretty good. I don't even think I mentioned what I rated in the other book. This was a 2-star. This was a 3-star. And In a Holidays was a 4-star. And I don't really remember the exact ratings of The Summer I Turned Pretty and the Selection series, but I know that the Selection series is just all in all 5-star series for me, and the Summer I Turned Pretty series is probably also 5 stars for me, maybe 4.5, but probably 5, because I do like it. It's very nostalgic. And another book I read this year was By Your Side by Casey West. I love Casey West. I love her stories. They're just so easy to go through. She writes YA, like little YA romances, and I really loved it. So this book is about a girl. They're about to get out of school for Memorial Day break or something like that, and she actually gets trapped in the library over the weekend. And she doesn't have her cell phone. She doesn't have like anything. And then she thinks she's alone, but there's actually a guy in there in the library as well. So they strike up a friendship. They try to figure out how to navigate being stuck in the library all weekend. And there was something that happened in this book that actually made my jaw drop. I think this is a 4-star for me. I just love Casey West's writing, and I love the concept. I hate the cover, but I love the concept of it, just them being stuck together. Forced proximity. And another book I read by Casey West was Listen to Your Heart. I read this in my Reading 100 Pages a Day challenge. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much from this book, and it was still good. It was a 3-star for me. This book actually takes place around the fall, and I didn't really expect it to take place in fall, so I really loved it for that reason, because it was around fall time when I read it. It was okay. I mean, this is one of her earlier releases, so it wasn't as good as like By Your Side, so that's why I gave this only a 3. But this book is about this girl where she is enlisted in helping the school's podcast, and there's a guy that is called Mr. Looking for Love. Try to help this guy figure out how to ask this girl out, but what she doesn't know is that it's probably her, things like that. So anyway, that's what this book is about. The only thing that bothered me about this book though is that she like talked about the lake all the time. She would not shut up about going to the lake. And another Casey West book I read this year was The Distance Between Us. I haven't really talked about this book at all. This book was good. I liked it better than Listen to Your Heart. There's like the rich and then there's the poor, and it's like never trust the rich, right? She's told never to trust the rich. This guy walks in the store that she works at. She works at a doll store, and she knows he's like attractive, but she's like, I can't trust you because you're the rich, and I don't trust you. It's like that. I don't really remember a lot that happened in this book, but I still remember enjoying it. There was one thing about this book though that like wasn't answered for me, and I was really confused. But other than that, it was cute, but it was like, yeah, it was a 3-star for me. And guess what? Another Casey West book. This book I read in the Reading 100 Pages a Day challenge video. This book is Sunkissed by Casey West. And this was probably one of my favorite Casey West books that I've read. I just loved it. It flew by for me. I kept just wanting to read it, and it was so cute. It's about this family and this girl, and they go to this camp for like the summer because they're trying to get away from technology, trying to get their kids to, stop looking at their phones, blah, blah, blah. And she meets this guy there, and he's in a band, and things just kind of go on from there, and I just really enjoyed it. It was good. I gave this a 4-star. I really did like it. It was really good for a YA book. So this book actually got ruined because there's water all over it. I also read this in Reading 100 Pages a Day challenge. This is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my first Taylor Jenkins Reid book, and honestly, like, I didn't really like it. It just didn't really grasp my attention enough. That's why I'm kind of iffy on reading her other books, because I'm not sure if it was just the story itself or the writing, but I got like bored and things just felt slow. I think I gave this a 2.5 or a 3. I don't really remember, but like, I just didn't like it too much. I know it's a movie now. I still need to watch the movie, but yeah, it was okay, just not super memorable for me. Okay, and the next 3 books I actually read in a video. The Silent Patient by Alex McAleeds, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, and The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I was very surprised how much I enjoyed this book. I know it's like hit or miss for some people, but I don't know what it was. I just loved it, and I was so intrigued the whole time. And I kind of was always on my toes, and I was thinking, wait, is this person crazy, or is this person crazy, or is this person crazy? Like, it wasn't obvious for me at all, like, what was going on. I think the author did a really good job of making you look at one person and like, oh, it's them, they did it. And then suddenly they're like, she makes us think, wait, did they do it? It was just really good to me. And when you think about it, the cover is actually very creepy. But I gave this a 5 stars. I think about it a lot, and it was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. And the next thriller I have is The Silent Patient by Alex McAleeds. This book I think about so much. I think this is probably one of my Infinity Star reads, because this book was crazy. I was so surprised at the end. So this book is about a woman named Alicia, and she basically shot her husband and never spoke again after that. Like, she killed her husband, and that was it. This book is told through the psychotherapist's perspective, because he wants to figure out why, like, Alicia's story. Why did she do it, and how can he get her to talk again? So that's what this book is about, and there's diary entries of Alicia and things like that, and you slowly put the pieces together, and this book was just so good. And the last thriller, The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I didn't like this. It was going, you know, and then we got to the ending, and I was like, why? I don't really want to go into what this book is about, because I just didn't like it. This is a 2-star. I was just disappointed in the ending, and I know a lot of people like it, but I think a lot of people also agree with me. The ending was just weird. I don't know how I feel about it, and I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. I read the one and the only Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I had never read a fantasy before until I read this, and I understand that people don't get the hype. I think this is a lot of people's first fantasy book because it got so hyped up on Book Talk, and that's why a lot of people really, really liked it, and including me. I love this book so much. It like took over my brain for like 3 weeks. I love this. It was a 5-star, but I do understand people that have always read fantasy, that they didn't really see how this book was like so hyped up. And I get that, but for this being my first fantasy book, I loved it. It was so good. It definitely made me want to read more fantasy. So I'm excited to eventually get to more fantasy books in the future. But this was so good, 5 stars. And then, of course, after that, I didn't know what to do for the next while until the second book came out for the Embrian series. And then I finally got it, and that is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I waited until like, 2 a.m. to get this. I went to the Iron Flame release party, and it was so fun. Like, everyone was just having such a good time. It was such a vibe. Obviously, I didn't like this book as much as the first one. It was very long. I think it was way longer than it should have been, but like, I still really enjoyed the world. I liked being in the world and learning more about the characters, and the ending was crazy, and I don't know what's gonna happen, but I still loved it. I gave it a 4.5 stars. It wasn't as good as Fourth Wing, of course, but this book was still really, really good, and I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait until the third book comes out. And the last physical book I have that I read this year was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I actually have a reading vlog up for this. I was very nervous about getting into this book because I read the plot and I was like, that doesn't seem that interesting, right? But like, let me tell you, the plot in the back of the book does not do it justice. This book was so good and the romance was so sweet. And thankfully, there is only one more book after this one, and that's called Ruthless Vows, and it just came out, so we're not gonna have to wait for like 5 books or whatever, but I'm so excited to read the next one, and I'm just so scared of what's gonna happen. And this book, oh my god, it was just so good. 5 stars. So the first one that I listened to on audiobook was P.S. I Like You by Casey West. It was a very cute book. I really enjoyed it. It's just about a girl that starts scribbling lyrics on her desk, and then she comes in the next day, and then someone like filled in the spot for her, and they basically start communicating on her desk, like literally writing on the desk, and that's basically what that book is about. But there's so much more that goes into it. I gave this book a 3 stars. It was just cute, and if they ever decide to redo the covers for Casey West books, I will buy them, but I just don't like the people on the covers. Okay, I did rate this book, but I don't think that I should rate it because it's technically a DNF. I DNF'd The Hating Game by Sally Thorne, but on my Goodreads, it's a 2-star. I just didn't like it because it's about these 2 people that work at some kind of book publisher or something like that, and they're both going for the same promotion, and 2 people hate each other, but somehow they end up just wanting to bang all the time. And it was like, that is like the whole, like, their whole relationship and their whole thing was just wanting to bang each other. And I was like, I was just getting really annoyed about it, and I was like, okay, you get to know each other. Obviously, I DNF'd it, but I did have a 2 stars on there, but maybe I'll give it another chance one day. But at the moment, I just didn't like it. And the next book that I'm so surprised that I don't own a physical copy of this, I used to, The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. Oh my gosh, this book was so good when I read it. Like, I don't know why I got rid of it. I have no idea. 5 stars for me. It's literally what it sounds like. The Fill-In Boyfriend, fake dating. It was so good. I loved it so much. And I just love the characters. And I'm pretty sure that this takes place in like the snobby girl's perspective. I'm gonna have to get it again and read it. And you know, the more I think about it, the more I am very shocked that I also DNF'd this book, and that is The Siren by Kira Cass. I don't know why I DNF'd it. I think I was just getting pretty bored. It's exactly what it sounds like. She's a mermaid and falls in love with a human. Kind of is giving Aquamarine vibes now when I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I have a 2 stars on there because I just didn't finish it and I was getting bored of it, so I just put a 2 stars. But maybe I should give it another chance because I do love Kira Cass's writing because I love the selection so much. I don't know, maybe one day, but not today. And another book that I do not have the physical copy of, I listened to this on audiobook, was The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I loved this. I was so excited to go to Barnes & Noble and read the exclusive bonus chapters, which, if you know what the exclusive bonus chapters are, just know that I felt very awkward in Barnes & Noble that day. This girl is trying to prove to her best friend that she's got a boyfriend or something like that, and she kisses the first guy she sees, and it's actually her professor. So,
hi, editing Sam here. I don't know why I just said that. The guy that she kisses is not her professor, but he is a professor at the college. So, just to clear that up, because that sounded really bad.
it was so funny. Like, the book is funny, it's witty, there's banter. Ali Hazelwood's writing is so good, and I know that, like, her books are very science-y, but she never really makes it hard to understand. Like, it's actually interesting. I just loved it, and I really need to read another Ali Hazelwood book sometime. It was just so good. It was so good. Wait a minute, did I skip one? I cannot believe I skipped this book because this book is a 5-star. It's still in my bookshelf. This is nuts. Okay, hold on a minute. What the heck? Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Absolutely love this book. Don't know how I just skipped it and completely forgot that I read it. But this book obviously was so good. This book kind of really got me started reading again, honestly. Like, I loved it. And this was actually the first book I read that had spice. And when it happened, I was like, I didn't know that. I'm literally 26 years old, and I didn't realize that spice could be in books. And I was reading it, and I was like, other than that, like, the book itself was really good. And basically, this is like a second chance romance. I'm sure you've heard of it, so I'm not gonna really get into it, but I loved it. And is that all the books? Is this everything? On my Goodreads, I also have The Fault in Our Stars, but I read that a long time ago, so that doesn't count. And to end off this video, I'm going to be discussing some goals I have for 2024. And I'm so excited to be on BookTube. Like, I really never thought that I'm just so happy that anyone watches me. Like, one person, 2 people, 100 people, like even having 500 subscribers. I like didn't think that, like, I just feel happy about it. Like, it's just so cool. And I love reading books for videos and I love talking about them. It's just really cozy and I just love it. And it's something I really need because I need to escape my life with books. And honestly, like, when I move, it's only gonna go up from here. I am so excited to have a whole new setup, a whole new space, more books, more book shopping videos. These goals are pretty hefty, okay? But I'm going to try my absolute best. My first goal that I have for 2024 is to read the Throne of Glass series. This series has been so hyped. I own the first 2 books, Assassin's Blade and Throne of Glass. I'm going to read Assassin's Blade first because I've heard this is just better to do because you get more of a backstory of what's going on. But yeah, that is my goal for this year, is to read Throne of Glass. I'm nervous because I don't know if I'll like it and I'm worried, but we'll see how it goes. My next goal is to actually read the ACOTAR series. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to this year. Who knows? I might. And then my next goal for this year is gonna sound really silly, but like, I've never read a Colleen Hoover book and I want to do it. I think she's controversial, but I'm not sure. I want to see what's going on. I want to know. I own Verity, November 9, Hopeless, Ugly Love, and It Ends With Us. I have a few I can choose from. Which one should I start off with first? I'm thinking about starting with Ugly Love because I've heard that one was crazy. And then I do have another goal. It's to read more books that I've been avoiding. I'm making a video about this, reading hyped up book talk books that I've been avoiding because, trust me, I'm avoiding some. For example, The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm avoiding those because I just don't think I'll like them. At the Atlas 6, avoiding. My last goal, and it might sound silly, I'm sorry, but my last goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers. That'd be crazy, because like when you think about it, it's like, even now, it's like with 500, I almost have 600 subscribers, and imagine 600 people watching you at one time. That's scary, isn't it? And imagine 1,000? Imagine 2,000? How do people do it? I think another goal that I have, though, for this year, I really want to read Twilight and The Hunger Games because I've never read these, and also Harry Potter. I've never read either of those, and those are like books that people loved in like middle school / high school. I never read those. Literally didn't even count my physical TBR. I'm gonna go count my physical TBR, and I'm gonna tell you guys how many books I have in my physical TBR because I need to get that down because I know it's a lot.
A few moments later.
I have 58 books that I haven't read. Which, you know what? That's not that bad. Because if I do my 50 books, that means I'd have 8 books left. As if I'm gonna read 50 books from my physical TBR, maybe like half of them, because guess what? I'm still gonna go book shopping. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of this video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm thinking about doing a video where I rank all the books I read this year into categories to kind of go more in depth about what I didn't like about them, what I liked about them, things like that, which books are my top, which books are my lowest, things like that. But if I had to pick a top 3 books from 2023 that I absolutely loved, I would definitely say The Silent Patient, Love in Other Words, and Fourth Wing. Yeah. Oh, but the selection. Okay. Fourth Wing, The Silent Patient, and The Selection.
Sorry, love in other words. I just love the selection. I love the selection. I love it so much. I'm sorry. And if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video and make sure to get your reading goals accomplished this year. We can do it. 50 books, no problem. 100 books, no problem. I couldn't do 100 books, but if you have 100 books, no problem. You got this. That is it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.